Jody and Peter Abraham anxiously clutching their just-filed federal lawsuit, challenging hundreds of unregulated and wireless facilities, still going up by the dozens across Huntington and Oyster Bay.
We're not anti-tech, we're not anti-cell phone, but we believe that cell phone towers should be put up in a responsible way.
They called us to their home last December when, overnight, they say, a pole with a wireless box was installed on the edge of their front property. They confronted the installer, Crown Castle, and the town for an explanation. You want a voice?
I want a voice, and I want my town to stand up for us, their residents, and they have told us their hands have been tied.
I spend my time full-time here in Washington, D.C., educating legislators regarding the health effects, the biological and health effects from wireless radiation. And part of our team is cancer epidemiologists, toxicologists, cellular biologists, all the people that the FCC do not employ. As a matter of fact, the FCC does not even have a health department. And the working around of health effects from wireless technology is really a sad chapter in the history of this country. And frankly, there's no nice way to say this. The wireless industry is lying about health, and they're lying about this technology and how it needs to be implemented. And coming from California, we have more insight because they're already beginning to install, so we know more about it.
Is a cell tower going up in your neighborhood? If it's not now, it may soon. Wireless carriers are installing millions of them across the country to enable the new, faster 5G cell phone technology. But tonight, Julie Watts asked the question you're not supposed to ask. Are there legitimate health concerns?
It's keeping John Heestand up at night. This new pole outside his bedroom window where Verizon will soon install a next-generation cell tower, just feet from a school.
This would be a big tower pushing out radiation outside of our bedroom window, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for many years.
It's called a small cell or distributed antenna system, similar to this one in San Francisco. The industry says they're safe. Many in Piedmont aren't convinced.
Our daughter is a cancer survivor.
13-year-old Sophia has been one of many petitioning the city council to deny this cell tower and others.
I'm also a brain cancer survivor, and I am against the cell towers.
I mostly talked about my cancer and how it affected me.
But according to federal law, the city simply can't consider health concerns. It's outlined in this small section of the Telecommunications Act, based on science from 1996.
To turn your phone on or off.
Back when this was the height of technology.
But if cities do consider health, the cell companies can sue. So with few legal arguments to deny a cell tower, they're popping up outside bedroom windows and school campuses, despite objections from across the country.
A professor from Sussex University has said putting 5G on all the lampposts, which is what they're doing, will cause basically an insect Armageddon because insects hover around lampposts and with their surface area to volume ratio, they will not survive it. There are already papers showing this.
The latest cell phone technology is almost here, and some people are concerned about the long-term health effects they say it could bring. Wireless companies say 5G service will speed up phone service. However, it requires new equipment to be installed in neighborhoods across the U.S. Now, some people feel it will be an eyesore. Others fear that the radiation emitted by such technology could actually lead to cancer.
We're talking about whole body radiation, but in fact, different areas of the body have different thermal levels. When you put the phone to your ear and your ear feels warm, in fact, to show how dangerous this thermal or below thermal level is, all of the cell phones, all of the transmitters, the military, everybody, it is all given the below thermal level. So none of it should cause a kilogram of your body mass to heat up in 6 minutes by 1 degree, basically. It is all below thermal. Everything you use is below thermal. What they have not told you is that when you put the cell phone to your ear, and in fact, if you look at the safety guide that comes with cell phones, it says, do not hold it next to the skin. When you hold it and you feel warm, in fact, they're wrong, because it is known and has been known that when you warm your skin by 0.6 of 1 degree, which is basically a half of 1 degree, when your cells heat up by 0.6 of 1 degree, what are known as the heat shock proteins come into access. The cell realizes it is in danger and starts a mechanism like a scaffold around the cell to protect it. But it can also protect then cancer cells. And so what you can do once it's 0.6 is you can start protecting cancer cells from the rest of the body to destroy. And you also disrupt the cellular process. People don't realize that the heat shock proteins are actually chaperones within the cell, and there are millions of little chemical reactions that take place, and they have quite a lot to play. So the moment you start warming it, you're doing damage anyway.
The breast. The breast is mostly fat, contains a lot of fluid. Things that contain fat and fluid cook faster in the microwave oven. Now, a cell phone can't cook anything, all right? Mobile phones do not pop popcorn. That was a fraud. They don't make any heat that we know of, otherwise they wouldn't be permitted. But they do go through things that contain fat and fluid. And we are now working at Environmental Health Trust with scientists at the University of California, San Francisco, scientists formerly the president of the American Cancer Society of California, because we are seeing women who keep cell phones in their bras. Has anyone seen a woman put a cell phone in her bra? Hands up, please. Please tell them you've heard now why they shouldn't do that. And here I want to show you our first case report from 2009, and we now have many more. This was a Chinese-American woman who used her cell phone 4 hours a day in her bra for 10 years while she was driving. Now, and you drive with a phone on your body. The phone is smart. It's going to go from one tower to another, and it's going to say, here I am, where are you, here I am. And it's going to be going to max power each time it moves from one cell tower to another. And there it was right next to her chest. And the tumors that developed right under the antenna of the phone. Unusual tumors. Well, you know, that's a very good question. Does it apply to males who would put the phone in their breast pocket? We actually have cases now of men with unusual skin cancers or unusual growths where they've kept their phone in one place. And again, if they were phones would not be past testing approval if they were to do that. Male breast cancer is very rare, very, very rare. But we are seeing some reports of cases. And here, unfortunately, this is an MRI of a young woman, a very brave young woman named Tiffany France. When she was 21, she's now 22, she developed metastatic breast cancer. This is metastases into her chest wall right here. And this outlined the phone. And it was subcutaneous, so it's like right under the surface of the skin. It was not deep within the breast. Most breast cancer occurs in women over 50. It occurs in the upper outer quadrant. These tumors occurred right under the antenna of the phone. And now we have 38 of them. Not a single one of them has a family history. None of them has inherited the defects that we know increase the risk of breast cancer. They have multifocal tumors. That means they have more than one tumor, and the tumors are located under the antenna, sometimes just right in the center of the chest. So we're collecting information because that's what we do in science. But we want to, in the meantime, issue precautionary advice because that's also what we do in public health when it comes to setting public policy.
To maintain this speedy connection, cell phone companies claim they need additional cell towers in communities like Moraga. Ellie says she'd rather see these companies stick to fiber.
There's a better way to do it, and that would be fiber to the premises. We don't need these small, so-called small cells every few homes in our communities.